Alright folks, welcome back. Today I'm going to tear into my brand new Skyzone SKY 030 FPV goggles. One big reason I'm doing it is because there's this weird blemish on mine, and I've seen on a lot of others where the cases aren't really snapped together well. And I've been hearing recently that there may be a way to adapt rapid fire to work on these. So I want to get in there and see what's inside. Some people are hinting that Skyzone is planning on releasing some sort of adapter bay or adapter module, which if that's the case, there's no reason to buy Fat Sharks. The picture and everything is way better on these, and then the only thing it doesn't have is the ability to have the rapid fire external modules. But there's plenty of 3D prints out there for the older model goggles to adapt a receiver module onto them. I'm sure you could definitely do it with these, but I'm going to go ahead and take these apart. I haven't done this before, I haven't read up on it, so you are going to learn as I'm learning, and I'm sure I will make some mistakes along the way. So this is a double aught Phillips head to take that screw out, and let's see, it feels like there's a Phillips head inside of each of these. Yes, there is. So there's one, and here is the other one. Okay, so we got 3 small Phillips head screws out of there. Probably should be removing the faceplate at this point. Look into how to do that. I'm always afraid of pulling on these things. So it looks like it comes off pretty easy, actually. You just kind of start from the outside and very gently pull each of the corners. And you'll hear it kind of release. Oh, and there's the faceplate. Super easy. Put that aside. So then we're left with the goggle itself. Now, I'll figure out how to get the case apart. I've got those 3 screws out. I'm just going to put a little pressure on this and see if... Looks like it's going to come apart pretty easy. There's definitely some clips in here. Probably should use a little spudger tool. Oh, there we go. I'll just use my fingernail. Little tip trick. Keep one of your really messed up propellers, and then you just clip the blade off of it. And these are very good, very cheap, and readily available spudger tools for prying cases open or scraping at things. So it looks like there is a clip here, and it looks like there was a clip there. And we'll just take this and work it around the case. Oh, there's another clip there. And I'm going to assume there's another one over here. And if your little spudger gets all dorked up, just kind of straighten it out. I'll stick it in here and just kind of work our way around. I did leave the little diopter covers on, because I figured I'd end up sticking my fingers in them. There we go, there's another clip. And that is that. I carefully peel the 2 halves apart. I'm pretty sure that's all that's holding together. Okay, so all the little buttons fell out. That's not a big deal. They're not really held in by anything. The menu buttons, so we'll put those aside. And here we have our 2 modules. If you need to come in and replace the fan, this is super easy to do it. Just get in here and give her a little tug, and there's the top half of the shell. You see the little device here to deflect the air down to the receiver, the screens. So we'll go ahead and set that aside. Alright, so that's the insides. As you can see, you've got your 2 receiver modules here. Everything seems to be connected by little ribbon cables. There's a couple grounding wires. So let's go ahead and pull that board off of here. And I just see these ones flip up, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, just very carefully flip those up, and that'll pull the ribbon cable out of there. And the same over here. And we'll pull that out. Okay. Go ahead and unscrew this. All right. So with those two screws out, I believe we should just be able to lift up on this. There's a big ribbon cable underneath. You can see that down inside of there. There's a couple of them actually. The little push lock style connectors. You just kind of pop them on, pop them off. And then let's see, there's two of those, and then a ribbon cable down here in the front. Looks like for the camera. And there's another ribbon cable here on the side, which goes down to the power module. So I believe it's getting powered through here. Let's go take this off of here. All right, this is the first set of screws that I've taken out that are smaller than the others. Just remember that for later. So we take that aside. This is the right-hand set of buttons, up, down, and it says track on it. Put that aside. We can disconnect power from here. Okay. I'll go ahead and remove this side as well. And these screws are the same length as the ones on the other side. Didn't really want to do that. And this is the left-hand side with the record. It says record, mode, and camera. That's just a little button PCB. Put that off to the side as well. All right, let's get the receiver module out of here. So it looks like it's gonna lift up on these little black tabs. And the ribbon cable should just lift out gently. That's a little more force than I want to put on it. There we go. That's the camera module. And if you look down inside of there, you can see that there are 1, 2 other connectors, and these ones just kind of pop off. So you just kind of pry up on the sides. And there we go. That is the entire receiver module right here. Pretty well done board. There's no oddball solder blobs or any of that junk in here. A little bit of residual flux on the board. And the top side again. Here's your RGB strip for the front. Right there. Receiver module. you go. So that is the receiver module. So now we're left with pretty much just the optics, the looks like the DVR board here on the left, and the power board here on the right. So let's keep digging. So I'll go ahead and pull out this power board. There's one screw on top. A good idea to use these non-conductive tweezers. This screw is the same length as the rest of the ones for the two little button boards on top. And there's one more screw towards the front. Go ahead and take that guy out. And let's see if we can lift this bad boy out of here. There you go. Just kind of push up on the DC jack. It's a pretty tight fit. Very well fit inside of here. And there's your power board along with your head tracker port. I don't know if any of this is for the head tracker or what, but there's definitely some stuff in here. A little bit of weird crustiness on top of this. All in all, looks pretty good. Set that aside. And the power button just kind of falls out. I'm sure that's going to be a real pain in the arse to put back in. All right, let's head over to the left-hand side. Let's get this board out of here. Another Phillips head screw with a big fat washer on it. This screw is the same length as the case screws. It's not the same as the button board or the power board. And it has that big washer in there to kind of suck up some space, apparently. And that looks like all that's holding that in. Go ahead and see if we can't influence that to get out of here. Just kind of pushing on the ports underneath. Just for some leverage. They don't seem to be coming out that way. I'll take a closer look here. I don't see any other fasteners holding it in. Well, you can see there's a little bit of flashing from that screw and washer right here. That might be what's kind of holding it all in a little bit. Go ahead and very gently trim that back. Looks like it's got a little bit of epoxy on it, actually. Yeah, there's a little bit of epoxy on there. That's all right. I don't need no stinking epoxy. Doesn't seem to want to move. There we go. Just a real tight fit. And all I'm doing is just taking a headphone jack and kind of pushing in the ports and kind of bottoming it out. It's pretty gentle and benign. But I have to get something a little bit bigger to kind of push. So I'm just pushing on the edges of the port. Yeah, you can feel it sliding out now. Definitely requires a bit of force. Which is really tight in there. I should probably wear an ESD bracelet, but I can't say I've ever worn one in my life. I have one. How many of you guys wear an ESD bracelet while working on this stuff? Kind of curious. All right, so here is... This is probably definitely got the DVR on it, along with who knows what else. A little closer picture there. There's two big old fat capacitors. I'm sure those are for finishing your DVR right if you were to turn the goggles off. Not a bad looking little board. I'm going to put that aside, and we're left with the optics modules. Got a couple screws up here on this top board. We'll go and pull those out. They're smaller than the other ones, and they're silver too, so they should be pretty easy to identify. Let me go to reassemble this thing. Nice short little screws. 3 of those guys. There's those. We'll go ahead and pull these little protective diopters out. They have no value to them. They're just there to kind of protect the screens. Let's see, is there anything else holding these in? Be very careful not to touch them, although I'm sure I'm going to. Oh, let me pull the front-facing camera out right here. There's your camera, and there's the little bezel for the camera. Put those to the side. Over here. Here is our little module. And I don't know if these come out as a group. I don't feel like it. They feel like they're still kind of staked in there. I'm sure underneath here are probably some of those little push lock connectors. Ooh, that's some sticky tape. Well, more ribbon cables. I don't like ribbon cables. So let's get to that. Oh, there's 2 more screws down the side of here. You know what? I'm going to pull off one of these ribbon cables. And this is the kind you have to flip up. Find that use my fingernail. Just seems to work the best. And kind of remove that. I'm going to fold that to the side, and we get access to 2 more screws. These are so the same as the rest of the case screws. Those 2 screws, and let's see. There you go. The whole optics module kind of comes out like so. There's your little OLED optics modules here. The ratcheting detent is part of it on the back. You see that. Pretty craptastic little ratcheting thing. It's almost like, it looks like someone used some sort of hot forming tool to kind of make little ridges on the back of it. I mean, it does the job, but I'm kind of surprised. So that's your optics. Probably the OLED driver board right there. And we'll put that aside. And let's see, why did I tear this apart in the beginning? Oh yeah, why the cases don't fit together. Well, let's see, the case looks fine here. This side looks fine. It looks a little distorted, so I'm wondering if the issue is just kind of a mold issue. Yeah, those are just... yeah, it's just not going to snap together. Yep, my cases are just kind of on the crappy side. Yep, I don't know if you can see down inside of there. There you kind of see that is not going to catch on this little tab here. Because this top shell's kind of deformed a little bit. But anyways, no big deal. It still kind of works. Hopefully it's just something they take care of down the road. Look at that. I got them apart and I didn't break anything. It's mostly the tabs I'm worried about breaking. There's not much of a lip on there either, so it's probably never gonna catch on that tab. Whatever, no big deal. Just kind of curious. And then there's your two sliders, your adjustments for your IPDs. So that's it. This thing is completely torn apart. Now the trick is how do you interact with this guy here to get rapid fire? More research is needed. Anyways, at least that's enough for you guys to kind of see what's in there and do what you want to do with it. Or if you have to replace any parts or you got issues or you want to clean your optics, well, that's how you get in there. All right, guys, that's it for today. Obviously, putting it back together is going to be the reverse or removal. And that's it. If you like what I'm doing here, please like, subscribe, click that bell icon to be notified when I upload new videos. That's the whole mess. All right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions about any of the stuff that's in here, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer whatever questions I can. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.